Welcome to Silicon Valley Asian Business Talk. This is Roger Chen from University of San Francisco. In this video program, we interview business leaders, entrepreneurs, and leading experts from San Francisco, Silicon Valley, Asia, and beyond. This program is sponsored by University of San Francisco Center for Business Studies and Innovation in Asia Pacific. Hello, this is Roger Chen from University of San Francisco Center for Business Studies and Innovation Asia Pacific, or CBSI Asia Pacific. And today we are very pleased to have Vinnie Gupta coming to talk to us. Thank you, Vinnie.
Thank you, Roger.
Yeah, why don't you briefly introduce yourself and also your company?
Absolutely, Roger. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to be here. It's an honor. Several of our students have been to your university. My vice president programs with a doctorate in education from USF. It's a great honor. My name is Vinnie Gupta. I am president of UCEazy, spelled as UCEazy, College Admissions Academy. Our mission is to help students stand out in college admissions.
So on this journey, as you mentioned, you look at the similar problem in a very, very different way, in a new light. You're kind of reframing this whole issue. Does that sometimes involve or require you to do some very, very radical change on your operation, the business model, to the point then it's kind of risky choice for you?
Totally, Roger. And we are actually going through that right now.
Oh.
But we realize that this transition is going to be painful. But I feel comfortable as the leader of the team that now is the time to do it, because all of us have the conviction that where we are going is the right thing to do.
Okay.
So we would have to shed old habits. We would have to go for different team, because not because the old team members were not good, because the thinking doesn't apply. So absolutely, Roger, it'll require a churn, it'll require a different way of thinking, but we got to do all this while protecting our revenue stream or not hurting it.
Yeah.
But above all, and this is very critical for, I think, for anyone, that above all, to keep our promises to the customers that we have acquired through the old model.
So you want to minimize the disruption on the customer experience as you're making those changes or transitions.
Yeah. And it also, from a moral and an ethical perspective, those customers did not decide to make that change, we did. So whatever promises we make to them, I think those promises morally and ethically have to be kept. Otherwise, how do you sleep at night? At least I don't.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah. Thank you. Actually, these are very, very interesting kind of points. So my next question is, probably we already touched upon, companies like you. I think your companies has been, as you mentioned, has been operating in many years, right?
For 8 years.
For 8 years. So using the startup term, you already had product market fit, meaning you already had your stable core products, customer base. So for many of these companies, how to grow, how to scale up is a very important objective. So maybe could you share with us the challenges and also your solutions to address this growth challenge and also to achieve this scaling up objective?
Wow, it's almost like you're inside my head right now, because this is what exactly we are going through. So the challenges, Roger, are multifold. But the first thing, because we're having a candid, honest conversations, and many of our listeners are younger people who are trying to make an impact. So I'm just being very candid with everybody. I didn't know this earlier, but now I'm convinced if you don't scale, you will die. Everything else is noise. So do whatever. Once you have product market fit, the next thing you need to do is to figure out a way to scale whatever it takes. Otherwise, it's going to be, you will not see it coming, but the death will come, sorry, excuse the bad term here, but it'll come from different angles that you cannot foresee. So, where are our challenges?
By the way, Vinnie, let me clarify why you say if you do not scale, you will die. Could you be a little bit more explicit? Are you talking about the disruptors? Are you talking about the market trend changes? Just to make a little bit clear for our audience.
In many different ways. So first, what happens is that without scale, you will, and obviously scaling, you will need capital and all of that stuff. But if you continue with incremental growth, you would be caught in a never-ending cycle of not enough resources to do the right things, not enough resources for advertising, not enough resources to hire the right talent, not enough resources to automate. It's a perpetual cycle. And at some point of time, the constant chasing of not enough resources, it'll burn the leadership and the team out. Growing a company, making it into a unicorn or whatever it is, it's a long and arduous journey. Even for the best intentioned people, there are good days and bad days. I can promise you more bad days than good. You cannot keep running this marathon with a constant feeling of under-resourcing. The team will burn out, you start losing top talent. At some point, the leadership and the founders whose energy is driving all this, that energy will die. So that is the first part. The second, obviously, is that whatever idea propelled you, if you're not scaling fast enough, then you're leaving room for competition to come in. I think those are the two things. But my biggest thing is, again, specific to UCEazy, is the leadership needs to be in a good mental space, good emotional space, and that at some point you need to know that there is a huge runway ahead of you, and that you can take risks, try out new things, hire the right kind of people, and keep your eye on the ball versus constantly looking, do we have enough cash in the bank?
Okay. So it's interesting, actually, sorry, maybe I kind of stopped your kind of a thought. You kind of tried to mention your solution to tackle this growth challenge, and also relating to your early comment about this resource shortage cycle. How do you help the company or lead the company to break out that cycle and to scale up and grow?
Yeah. I think that, and this is what we are doing, Roger, so this is all from direct experience. I think that especially once you have this, what you think is a game-changing idea, and you're saying you're ready to scale, possibly breaking up the leadership team into a group of people who are chartered and compensated on protecting what you've got, and taking some resources, especially the CEO, on the scaling aspect of it. So keep the ongoing operations on one side, resource it, and then maybe a couple of people from the leadership team, they go into the scaling aspect of it, which is about raising capital. Scaling also requires hiring talent. And we know that hiring talent is not easy. It can be a full-time job. So that's how I would do this, is break it up. Many of my advisors have been saying that whenever you do these kind